So if you look, this is called a squeeze. An end of the day, completely manipulated by zero DTE traders forcing the market maker. That's what happened right here. And it was all the 610s and 611s and 612s that were bought in the last 2 hours. And the market maker was like, well, shit. And so the market maker went, boom, and that's what happened. So when that happened, the VIX, which was on a bit of a mission, as the VIX initially gapped up the day before, it gapped up initially, and was kind of finding a base right here at 15 and change. Looked like it was going to go take out the high, and instead the out of the money action on the SPY caused the VIX to drop to here. So then we gapped down, and now the VIX is sort of coming up a little bit. Although in the last hour, a little bit of sell-off as investors have been watching NVIDIA and saw NVIDIA recover. So now we're going to bounce back over to NVIDIA so you can see the recovery of NVIDIA. So see how NVIDIA initially opened up, little gap up, and then came down as the news came out about tariffs. This was the initial reaction to tariffs. And so if this stayed here, the VIX would have stayed elevated. But you'll notice that NVIDIA caught a bid and pushed price up over 140 again. So because of that, that would represent, asset managers buying NVIDIA, even though the tariff situation. So if NVIDIA did not recover and started to lose ground because, the dump that started the other day of NVIDIA and Apple as well, dump, then you would have seen the VIX really move. But look what happened. They bought NVIDIA and they bought Apple at the same time, which means they're taking money, and Microsoft got a little bid also, but they're taking money out of the Russell, out of banks, and pumping it back into NVIDIA and Apple again. Maybe a little bit out of Amazon the other day, and that's where they're putting it. They're putting it right here. Boom, boom. You can see it. It's super clear that where the money is going to. And so when you see that kind of market action, that's when you see the VIX start to get some traction, but then pull back here. That is the buying activity into Apple and back into NVIDIA. The question is it real buying activity or are they just fucking around? So if it's not real buying activity, then you'll see the VIX kind of come back up. You're going to get into the 2 o'clock zone where you'll see, market reaction to FMOC, maybe. But I mean, look at this daily chart of the VIX. The VIX wants to explode higher. There's no question about it, right? I mean, come on. It doesn't go up here for no reason, just to fall and then stay down here for another few months. This is real fear. This is justified and real action here. And so what it's done is it's kind of just fallen through here as investors go, it's not going to be so bad. We'll pump NVIDIA a little bit more. All right, we'll dump NVIDIA. Well, then put it into Apple. Screw Apple. Let's put it into Meta. Oh, Meta's done? Okay, let's sell out of Meta. Where can we put it? Nowhere, the markets go down. Let's put it back into NVIDIA. Markets come back up. This is the game that's being played. So when you guys are talking or looking at other stocks to trade and other markets to trade, be really precision. Be really precision targeted at what you want to trade so that it reflects what's going on here. Don't just randomly pick a stock like Walmart or whatever, right? If the banks are leaking oil, then get into some bank shorts. If Meta is correcting, get some Meta with your finger on the trigger. Microsoft looks like a mess. Great, we got a short on that. Amazon following suit, jump into Amazon, get a punch of that, right? You guys understand? Stay with what really matters, what's really current until this market finds its footing or goes back into correction phase. Now, seasonality-wise, February is not a good month. The second half of February is typically really bad. Just type seasonality, stock market, February. And, well, AI didn't come up with anything. February has historically been a flat to slightly positive month for the majority. Yeah, no, you're wrong. It's not true. Let's see. Let me ask the question so that AI will answer. is, oh, come on, is the second half of February. Still can't get it. I swear, Google, I'm almost done with Google. Really, like they suck. Here, stock market often suffers in February, and even worse in presidential election years. That's according to the Dow data. Since 1928, February has delivered a negative 0.1% monthly return for large cap stocks, the second worst month of the year, September probably being the first. So, did you see the first things that I got? The first comments that came out? Well, you didn't see it. But it was all like, yes, February is typically an up month. Bullshit. So seasonality wise, especially in an election year, the second half of February is typically not very good. And so are we coming into that part of the month where you'll see VIX, rise and where we'll lose some levels here? Well, the market maker is just following direction from these out of the money call buyers. So let's take a look. I'm waiting to make a decision whether to dump my SPY shorts or not. There's not much. There's a little left. But here, look at 0DTE. Look at right what we're talking about. Look at this. Look at the pump here. It's only 11:30, and look at this right here. See it? 610, 611, 612. That's what's driving the market right now. Right there. Here, not so much. So let's just see tomorrow. Does tomorrow have enough? I'm sorry, today is the 20, tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. Thursday, does it have enough to keep it sustained? There is some, looks like there's a little bit more out of the money buying here than there is out of the money buying here. So that stands up somewhat. This is very unscientific. And then Friday, we got 620s going here or not? Yes. So there are 620s here, but there are also 605s down here. These are the kind of outstanding. You got 620 and 625, pretty big. 10 to 15,000 here from 616. Then you got a bunch here, bunch here, bunch here, and then it's all bunched up here, 6, 10, 11, 12. You come over here to the out of the monies. Similarly, you got 27,000 here. This looks like a strangle. The 610 put, almost the same number of calls and puts here. A little bit of volume coming in here. Some volume coming in here. Doesn't look like they're going to want to move the market below here. So I think it makes sense to get rid of the 600s and see what I can get for them. I probably can't get much for them, but there is an argument to be made. Oh, I didn't see that one here. There's a bunch here at 605. So that looks like a level 605, and you see all the way down here in the 600s. Wow. But you got a larger number here at 610. 610, 615. So that's the battle, right? As I told you before, and this is why I put the trade on that I did, there's a battle of this level here, and then there's another battle being waged at like the 605, 600 level. And so right now we went from, went down to here, and now we're up here. We're right here at 611. So is this the battle? And then we push to that into the close of the week? Or does it fail and drop down? Now, if it drops down, I don't think it breaches 605. So the trade to put on is the 610, 605 if it reverses. Keep that in your back pocket. Now, we don't have that trade. We don't have the 610s because the market's moved up on us. So what I have for this Friday is the 600 595s. Now, if it pulls back a little bit, that might bring in something. But then for next week, we got the 590 595s. So I'm just wait a little longer to see if we get a little bit of a pullback. If we do, I'm going to get out of those trades. I don't think it makes sense to stay in those trades. And I'll hold on to this 1823s. It's already up. I mean, it's up by, it's up 46%. So we hold on to that. And if the market starts to downturn, I'll close out those longs and then jump into the 610, 605s. If it stays buoyant, then I'll dump the short, the put sides, and then I'll consider adding, 15, 20 or something. Or maybe 10, 15, yeah, like 15, 20 for next week. I'll add to what I currently have. Everybody clear about what to do there with SPY? You really have to just see if it's going to hold through this 2 o'clock hour. So you see this little spike here. You're right at it. That's 612. This is the real number because that was the closing hourly is right here. So you're sitting right here. Do we push or do we fall? And if we fall, you got a box here. You got a box here, right? You got this low to take out. Doesn't look like it wants to take it out. But we'll keep an eye. Now, we do have yields continue to go higher. But I don't know what's keeping TLT afloat. So this should really have fallen as yields went higher. This should have really dropped, and it didn't. So I don't know what's going on with TLT. We got the move that we wanted. I mean, yields continue to go higher, and it did pull back a little bit, but really nothing going on here. And so we've got this on. Actually, this might end up being a really good trade for next week, because if yields pump after the minutes are received, and next week we get some economic news that's not so great, and we get continuation of yields going higher again, then we get a further dump of TLT. And so our 228 position where we've got some 85 and 86 puts, we'll lean into those, and that'll be great. So hold your horses there. Nothing to do there. We'll just see what happens.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.